created man in the beginning, in Genesis chapter 1, as recorded, one of the first things that God did was that God gave man an instruction. The Bible talks about a tree that was planted in the very center of the garden, and God left an instruction specifically. God told man that he could eat of any fruit of any tree that was planted in the Garden of Eden, but the one that was at the center of it, they were not allowed to touch it, neither to eat of it. They were not allowed to eat of it. So God left an instruction. Instructions are like commands that God leaves in place in order to preserve and protect our existence. Without instructions, we can't thrive. Without instructions, we can't grow. Without instructions, we don't have strength, because the very capability and capacity of God is transmitted into us through His commandments, and His commands come in form of instructions. Now, the biggest trap that I've discovered with a lot of Christians as it regards instructions is that we want to understand the reason why God is giving us an instruction before we comply. And the problem with that is that instructions don't come with a manual. Instructions don't come with a footnote. No, there is no way for you to understand what God is saying. The reason is because understanding is in hindsight. When God leaves an instruction, that instruction is specifically for you to be able to comply with, and that compliance will bring about the results you are looking for. But the results you are looking for is hidden in that instruction. That's why constantly, every day of my life, I'm always looking for an instruction from God. Now, instructions may not come every day. Instructions may not even come every week. But when they do come, it is designated to bring you to not only to a place of relevance, but to a place of establishment, because God has a purpose for you, and that purpose is hidden in the compliance of the word that He sends to you. And when those words are given to you specifically, they come in form of instructions. Now, God has given us a general word. That general word is His commandments as contained in the Bible. And when we follow the specificity of those commandments, we come to a place where we're able to grow and we get closer to God and we know the things of God, and He establishes us, because even in the New Testament there are teachings and doctrines given in order to establish us in God. But we must understand that even though God has spoken through His word, God still wants to speak to us personally. And when God speaks to us personally, that now becomes a present word. And that present word is instructions that God gives us on a daily basis in order for us to thrive, in order for us to flourish, in order for us to be connected to Him, in order for us to have a relationship with Him. Now, in order for that to thrive, we have to follow the specifics of that instruction. When God instructs us to do something, we need to comply with it. Instructions is how God grows us, is how God establishes us. Now, instructions don't come with understanding. You do not know the reason why God is telling you to do that. You can't know. The reason is because God does not need to explain to you. God doesn't need to take permission from you. God only needs to command you. That's why the word of God is not called advice. It's a commandment. Now we're in a generation where young people want to understand something or they won't do it. And it's until you explain it to them, they will comply. Unfortunately with that, that's why many of them are not growing. Because God's commandments don't come with a manual telling you why you should do it. No, you do it first, then you see the benefits of it at the end. He that must come to God must believe that He is, and a rewarder of them that diligently seek Him. So the diligence is always wrapped in instructions that are given. When Adam and Eve did not comply with that instruction, it brought about damage and destruction and left penury and lack and problems and laboring to produce, laboring to give birth. Everything, pain and setbacks ensued. And God made it very clear that there was going to be consequences if they don't comply with it. Because in the day you eat of it, thou shalt what? Surely die. So God left specific instruction on what will happen if you don't comply with it. But yet they disobeyed because they were tempted of the serpent. So you must understand that the tempter is still out there trying to get everyone to a place of damnation and ruination, and you cannot escape the damnation that is to come if you don't follow the instructions. Because instructions will preserve you, it will keep you, it will bring you to a place where you escape the judgment that is to come. All right, let's leave it there. My name is Mark the Lion, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.